Hi, Mason. Thank you for coming on to the Creative Department podcast.
What's up, man?
How are you?
Doing good, dude. Long day, but it's good.
Nice. That's good to hear. For the viewers listening, Mason is in Nashville. I'm sorry, you're not. You're just outside of Nashville, about an hour.
No, I'm in Nashville now.
Oh, you're in Nashville. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're 2 hours ahead. Mason is a social media strategist, TikToker, model, digital creator, much more. Mason, glad to have you on.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
I want to start off really quickly by saying you're super inspiring to me. I've seen you kind of like watch from afar for the last 2 years on TikTok, on Instagram. I think it's really cool because you've kind of like really leveled up and you know what you like now, or at least it kind of seems like it, and you're doing the things that you want to be doing.
Yeah.
So that's like the most smart thing, and I admire that a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. So I know we haven't seen each other in a while, but it's been really cool to get in like my own little groove with stuff and then get a job from it and then work with other really creative people that are total badasses at their job, and having people that like push you to do better, whether it be inside work, outside of work, on your personal stuff. It's been really challenging in a good way. And I feel like I've grown in my like content, my work, and I'm like learning a whole bunch of different stuff that I wasn't taught before, and it's really cool.
Nice. I wanted to talk about that too. Where are you at right now? Like for like work, is that like because you've been surrounded by a lot of these people, I'm guessing?
Yeah. So I work at Small Hands Creative. It's like a branding agency. There's three of us. Ryan is like the head honcho.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dan is like the other photographer. They're both photographers. I do all the video and social media sides, and it's really cool. Like we get to meet some really great people who own really, really cool and like wholesome brands, and they let us be creative and tell their stories. And one of our things is like just having a good time doing it, and that's fun. And so we get to meet the people who own the companies, talk to them, become friends with them, and take that and create their story in photos and social media. So that's been cool too. It's in East Nashville. We have a studio, which is sick.
Oh, nice.
So we're able to like make a lot of stuff in-house.
Yeah.
But then we actually go out and we do travel. Like my boss, Ryan, he's in LA right now. He was in there for like 8 days. So
No, that's awesome. That's super dope. That's cool that you guys have your kind of own little clique right there, and it's like you guys are just kind of taking over. I think that's a lot of parallels to what like I'm kind of doing with Creative Department. It's like a group of us, and we're kind of just doing our own thing. Like you said, though, it's cool like working with people.
yeah.
And yeah, just like meeting clients and stuff, especially if you like really like the clients, which I mean, I tend to like most of them, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. In this job, we get to sit and actually like spend a lot of time with these people and getting to know them.
Yeah.
We need to know how they work, how they think, how creative they are. That way we can like bounce off each other.
Right.
Like I know you just did something with an MMA gym. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm sure you had to get to know these people, like learn who they are, know their thing. So that way you can perform better and get all of those things that they're going to want.
Right.
And I love that too.
Yeah, I think that's huge. I think like, yeah, that's my favorite part is like talking to the people. And then it's like, you have like, at least it feels easy for myself, and it probably feels really easy for you too, because we're in this space. But it's like literally within like an hour or two of talking to someone, you can like start to formulate like what their vision like looks like through like just from talking to them. It's like, oh, I could see the angle that they want to take, or I could see like the direction that they want to have with their brand. And then it's like it feels cool.
Yeah, you get to mesh well with people. You don't mesh well with everybody. Like that's just kind of how it works.
Right.
But when you find that right person, it makes the job so much more rewarding. And even when they give you feedback, like knowing that it's because they want you to do better too, that's always nice.
I do want to jump into your content a little bit. I do want to keep touching on this. I think that's super awesome too, what you're doing. Do you mind if we pivot a little bit to your personal content?
Go for it.
Nice. I wanted to ask like how you kind of first got into it, because like I was heavy like on you doing YouTube at the time. I think when we were meeting and stuff like that, and I had my camera with me, and like we were talking about like content like a bunch at the time. And I remember you telling me like, I'm gonna start to double down on it. I think you started off with like streaming, and then like now you moved over to TikTok, and you're just doubling down on TikTok.
It gave me like a little platform to just be creative on and talk about the things that I wanted to talk about. I was like really focused on talking about mental health when I first started doing it. I've kind of like jumped around from there because like I want to talk about more than just that, and I want to do more than just that. So I try to really get out of my comfort zone, whether it be like a modeling thing or a video where it's like showing an outfit that was sent to me from a brand, and it's like, no, I have to actually like, I have to do this because I want to, but also I have to match this brand that's asking me to model their clothing. And with TikTok, it's like giving me opportunities where I get to have fun. People like reach out to me. I've like made money for people that are close to me for this because of TikTok. And that's been really cool too. So it's been very rewarding. It has its ups and downs. Like the algorithm always changes.
For sure.
I do TikTok and social media for work. And so sometimes it's a little harder to do my personal stuff when I get home. So I like cut back on posting as much, but I'm posting stuff that actually like means something to me.
Nice.
And even recently I've gotten to work with some really cool brands that have like taught me to get out of my comfort zone. Like there's this brand called Hookberry. It's like a outdoors brand. They're so sick. And working with them has been a blast. And they're just like, no, make whatever you want. And like, we'll send you the clothes. We'll work with you. We actually worked with them at Small Hands too. Like
that's what I was going to ask you. Nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
And that was really cool because we got to do 3 incredible shoots for them, like a motorcycle shoot, like a home shoot. And then we also did like a fishing scene. So knowing that I made that connection was nice.
Yeah, that was like a win-win-win. I was like all across the board. I didn't know that you actually like took it back, and then you guys also did something through Collective. But that's super awesome too. That's actually I was gonna ask you your relationship with them. That's why it's still going though.
Yeah. So actually, I'm connecting with one of the people that I know in the next couple weeks because they're kind of building out how they're viewing like the creator programs that they run.
Interesting.
It's really, they have so many different brands where no matter what niche you have, you can find something through them. Mm-hmm. And their clothing is like sick. It's high quality. They have these like really, really cool whiskey glasses that have a mountain in them.
Nice.
They look like this, and they have like...
That's dope.
They have like a mountain in them, and it's like Mount Everest, and it's like, that's a good idea. So that's sick. I'm excited to see where that goes, seeing what else I can do. But I just received like a really, really cool coffee maker. I know it's just like, oh, it's a coffee maker, but it's like a really aesthetically pleasing one. And they were just like, hey, we'll send you one in exchange for a video. And I was like, sick. Yeah, sure. It's called Ratio Coffee. And like, it's not an ad, but it looks sick. And it does a coffee kind of like a pour over, but you don't have to do anything. And then I just worked with Cuts Clothing. And dude, it's just cool because I'm learning about all of these brands. And it's nice to know that like what I'm doing, somebody saw that and they're like, oh yeah, let's work with them. Let's see what we can do with them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really cool, especially when like sometimes you can be hard on yourself and you're like, oh, what I'm making doesn't matter. Nobody's saying what I'm putting out there. And then when that person does and you get reached out to, it kind of like bumps that confidence up a little bit. Or when I was talking about mental health stuff, it was really nice to hear like, if I was talking about men's mental health, which I don't feel like is talked about enough, I would get reached out there and like, hey, like you made my day much better in this video, or like you made me feel seen here. And I really appreciated that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that too. That's funny you say that because I don't always look at the comments of TikToks, but for yours, I did find myself like reading the comments a lot. It's and there's like a bunch of people that really like your work and stuff like that. And I also like on the other hand too, it's like you got to deal with like the yin and the yang of the comments too, because I think it's freaking hilarious too when like you react to like people's comments, or you just put people on blast sometimes. Like I don't know why, I just think it's so funny.
Sometimes I'm afraid to comment on stuff, but I do feel like sometimes you have to and like take up for yourself, and it probably makes it worse. Like
Right.
whatever, but I think it's important to just take up for yourself, because you're gonna get comments no matter what, whether
For sure.
it be like negative or it's just telling you because you like something that you're stupid.
Yeah.
You know, and it took me a while to like build up that skin to not let it bother me as much.
I didn't realize there was like that much harassment like on the platform.
It's bad. Like I remember making one video, and I mean I took it down. I made it friends only because I was like, this is not worth it, because I just made a comment. You know, I responded to a person with a video where I was like, hey, that's not cool. Like, let's not do that. That's not okay. And then I got put on blast for just taking up for myself, and I was just sucked. But I feel like that's just like the bane of social media.
Yeah, for sure.
But there were those comments that were like, hey, like there's nothing wrong with somebody taking up for themselves because they feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're in like
it's interesting.
The niche side of TikTok that you're in. I think it's funny. Yeah, you don't typically see a lot of men there.
No, it's like, it's really interesting. It's one reason I like social media, because you can reach so many people. You can talk to so many people. And I've gotten to meet and like talk and collaborate with a bunch of really cool people. Like stuff that I have nothing to do with, whether it be like a makeup content creator or like another social media marketer or somebody who reads the guidelines of social media apps that nobody reads, but he's like, oh, I'm going to go through and read all this and you're going to know what's in it. Random stuff like that has been really cool too.
Nice.
And it's nice to know that if you ask one of them a question, whether it be they have like 90,000 or 1 million followers, like they're genuine people.
For sure.
And that makes a difference for me to, you know people that's on like the bottom half and the higher half of social media.
Yeah.
Follower wise, and know that there's genuine people regardless.
I think like, I think it's more good than bad. I think it's just like the bad ones stick out a little bit more.
They do, because like that's the one you remember. You don't remember all of the good ones. You remember that one like asshole.
For sure. Yeah. I think it's funny. Even like when I go through YouTube comments, I'll always just like, I combat the comments with like, with commenting back. I think it's so fun. And then they'll comment and then I won't reply. I'm like, all right, one's enough. Like,
it's like, all right.
I can't help myself. So was it always kind of the plan? Like, obviously you're doing it for fun, but like, did you have intentions when you were first starting out? You're like, oh, I can do this. And like, I could also do it at a like really high level.
I didn't have any expectations going into it because it was during quarantine. Everybody was home and I was just started making videos, and where I was mentally at the time, I was like, I just want to get all this out. I don't have an outlet. Nobody can leave.
Right.
So I just started making videos that meant a lot to me. And it kind of just went from there. Like people started connecting with it. I started to meet people that appreciated these things, and I just kept making content that met those people's expectations, because I'm a people pleaser. Sometimes it's a bad thing, but knowing that I was helping people made a difference to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of feels like you have a responsibility to take care of these people you're never going to meet. You kind of have to like, keep yourself in check a little bit, because it's like, they will be fine if I don't post a video today. Even if I want to, it's like, okay, I need to take a day for myself. I won't post a video. It's like, that's fine. That's a reason kind of why I stopped Twitch streaming, because once there was like money involved on there and people were like paying to watch me, I was like, I don't want to stream today, but these people paid to watch me. I don't know if I want to do this. So I kind of stopped doing that a while ago. It always interests me. Like sometimes I think about it, but I work 7 days a week. Like I work every single day, and I haven't had a day off in like months. So if I come home and play a game, I don't want to Twitch stream it. I just want to sit down and play a game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need that.
Essentially, that's like going into your next job. It's like,
yeah. And it's really fun, but it's exhausting. Like
Heck
people who
yeah.
do it for like 8 hours a day, I don't know how they do it. Like I
Yeah.
respect it a lot because you have to
Yeah.
focus and then talk and focus on this at the same time and like keep conversations going. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Your energy has to just be up like all the time, acknowledging everybody. And then it's like, but you got to focus on the game. But you also got to like not suck and then find
Yes,
stuff to do and then not be bored after an hour and then switch and then transition into something else.
it's a
Yeah,
lot
it's a whole thing.
because I know you did it for a little bit too.
Yeah, I tried it. I wasn't that good at it though.
It's hard
Yeah.
because so many people want to do it and so many people do it
Hmm.
and they expect to be the next big Twitch streamer, all of them. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's everybody goes into it like thinking I can do this, but all these million other people think the same thing.
Yeah.
And you have to find something that separates you, and you can't like look at others for inspiration on your content, but don't copy them, I guess.
Right, right. Yeah, I think with Twitch, I mean, that's like so funny because it's like there's besides like just chatting and stuff like that, the amount of like kind of copying, it's the same game and there's only so much you could do with Fortnite or with Grand Theft Auto or with like I don't know, Rocket League or whatever. So
Yeah.
essentially it's the same thing. The real people who win the best are the people that have groups of friends, like 6 to 8 friends that they can like interact with, and like those are the people that win really big.
Yeah, because you're bouncing off these people. You're not
Yeah,
looking at a screen talking to yourself. And you're not
right.
like you have those like couple commenters, and that's awesome. But then
Hmm.
sometimes it's like, okay, I need a friend. And once you have
Yeah,
that friend you're playing games with, everything comes a lot more natural.
for sure.
And
That's true.
you're totally right. Like all of those people do win big when they have big groups. Even on
Yeah.
YouTube too, like the people that just make content all together. It's just
That's
better.
interesting. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that. Yeah, that's totally true though.
Like you have all those groups that make videos every day together.
Yeah.
And it's like people expect that community there of these friends interacting, and that just makes it seem a lot less like rehearsed.
I think it's funny. It's like and the other frame of like group of friends is like the content house blueprint, right? Because then
Yeah.
it's like and it's pretty funny because it's like it just takes the model of like Jersey Shore. It's like sticking 8 people in a house and then it's like let's just see what happens. And like every like couple days there's an agenda or there's an activity or something, but I think it's essentially
Yeah.
the same thing, and people know like really what the outcome is in a year. It's like not that it fizzles out, but a piece of it has to break off, and I think like it's inevitable. And I think people like that. It's interesting.
It's drama. It's
Yeah, it's
spicy
drama.
drama, dude. People love it. It's people are so attached to it. It's like, oh, who's gonna leave first? Because people do grow out of each other,
Yeah, for sure.
especially like friends who are playing every day together, playing games every day together, interacting together. Like one of them is probably gonna grow out.
Or it gets weird with like money, I think too. There's people like there's content houses really where like one person's putting all the money up front, like with the house and the rent and everything like that, and then they take a piece of everybody's pie, and like that gets super tricky. Like that never works. The other ones that come close to working are when they have like their own individual thing going on, and then they use it to collaborate. But even then,
Yeah.
there's still an end to that like avenue.
Yeah, it is interesting. I didn't think about that with the money side. It's like also one of them is going to make way more money than the other people
For sure.
usually, and so
And
like
yeah,
it's obvious sometimes.
and like maybe that one person's only gonna like, and then that one person's gonna make the most money, but then the other person is gonna like benefit the most off like following and like stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's like, bro, it's like I'm helping you, you're not really helping me.
yeah. It's like
But
a back and forth.
yeah, you need some like equal players. It's hard to like shape that.
Hmm.
Do you watch a lot of YouTube or no?
I jump around. Like I don't really watch TV unless there's like a show like The Last of Us or Mandalorian on. But I usually watch YouTube. Like if I'm eating dinner, I'll watch YouTube. It just like a bunch of random ones, like Moist Critical, of course, and like his content is just hilarious. I've watched him
Yeah.
since I was like middle school, dude, and
That's
I like
funny.
content like that where it's just like people, whether it be like commenting over other videos, doing just like stories about the game industry. I think that's really interesting.
What do you think? Like, what have you seen how like he's created his own like league and stuff like that?
It's so sick.
Yeah,
I know he's losing money
For sure.
Like
That's what I was going to
six
say.
figures, and he's talked about it, and that's really
Yeah,
interesting. Also, the fact that just to have that much money, just to be like, here you go. But it's for a
yeah,
good cause. Like he knows what's there,
for sure.
and the
It's
fact
a
that he's
hard
giving,
business model.
yeah, it is. There has to be a lot of money up front. Like you're paying for all these people to play. You're paying for all
Yeah,
the traveling, the
yeah.
merch, the marketing. Um, it's really interesting. I like seeing big creators branch out and start things with their money. Like they're putting their money where their
Mhm.
mouth is. It's like, hey, I love this. I'm going to make something out of it.
Right.
Or um, that one YouTuber Donkey who created like a game publishing company for like small indie developers. It's like
Oh,
that's
nice.
awesome.
Right.
Or like I just think that's really cool. And knowing that these people are creating jobs for other people and see how
Right.
creative these other people are. Like one of Charlie's people that works on his own YouTube videos, like the personal stuff, my
Mhm.
girlfriend knows them and is friends with them. So it's like
Oh, interesting.
it's cool seeing these like little connections here and there because it kind of makes it
Yeah.
feel like a small world almost.
It's an extremely tiny world.
It's like Nashville feels like a hub where
Yeah.
so many people from all these different industries are here. Like one of our clients right now is just like these incredible chefs, and knowing that like, oh, I'm one person removed from this other massive chef. That's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah.
Or I love stuff like that
Right.
because these were just people. It's not somebody. It's not just somebody like over the phone. Like this is a person. They have feelings. They have thoughts. They have friends.
For sure.
And I like seeing that a lot because I think people forget about that sometimes.
Right. Yeah, even where like I live too, I think San Diego is extremely small. I think it might feel big in like because Nashville feels big to me, but to you it might feel relatively small.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, same thing. I mean, I think yeah, I mean, obviously California's a shit show. Other than that though, that's dope. I like that. I didn't know you were into like Moist Critical and stuff like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's
I'm like a pretty big fan of like Ludwig. That's how
yes,
I found out about like Moist was through him.
yeah. I like Lud too. Like I think his content is great. I like his mogul mail
Mogul Mail,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think it's funny. Um, I really like staying in tune with the game industry and stuff going on, whether it be people like not being taken care of when they're making a game, or I love watching how games are made,
hmm
or movies too. Like all the background on movies, games, music too. I love seeing that stuff.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
one guy that I watch. His name is Matt McMuscles, and he makes this series where he talks about like a bad game and what happened, and he'll do like 20-30 minute mini docs pretty much. And it's really cool
Nice.
because he'll pull like interviews with developers and actually talk to them, be like, hey, what
Oh,
happened here,
nice.
or what happened to this game or this movie to make it turn out this
Yeah,
way. uh,
yeah.
I watch stuff like that too.
That's dope. Yeah, I watched one where it was like uncovering Melee of why Melee was like a unfinished game, quote unquote, but
Yeah,
because there's a lot of flaws in it and stuff like that. But yeah, I do like that too. It's like going back and checking through the developers.
yeah, and watching speedruns too. I think watching speedruns are fun.
Have you noticed like speedruns are a popular thing on TikTok lives now?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I've been watching. Like maybe it's because I keep falling into the trap. But,
You're in
like,
that algorithm where like it's just all of that.
I watched like maybe a minute or two of like a guy speedrunning like Mario 64 on TikTok, and like then it's just like week after week, like I just kept getting all these like guys speedrunning video games like
Yeah,
on old classic consoles.
that sounds like fun. I really like Dark Souls speedruns.
Nice.
I think those are really cool. Watching people speedrun a really hard game that I can't beat.
Right.
I think that's fun
Yeah.
because I can't beat those games.
Yeah. I do want to wrap it back to content a little bit here. I do want to ask you, so like in regards to like converting your audience, is it easy? Is it difficult? What did you find? Like, have you put any thought into this of converting your audience from from TikTok to Instagram, or either to a YouTube channel or anything like that? I
I don't think I'm super interested in like doing YouTube as much. I like the thought of it, and I know the type of content that I would probably make. I just don't have the time to put into the YouTube side.
For sure.
Video creation. Shorts, yes, but I don't really like shorts very much.
Yeah, no, fair.
They're really useful, and I have to make them for work, but I don't want to make them for me. But I think converting the TikTok audience to Instagram audience is a little hard because TikTok has such a better platform compared to Reels.
Yeah.
And I think that's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I do have people that kind of want to see like what I'm doing, my personal stuff. They want to see like my cat or what I'm doing for work. And I think that's really cool because I'm getting those people that like my content enough to follow me on other platforms.
Right.
But if these people don't follow me, that's fine. And I think
so. Yeah, it's not your priority or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
I like making reels sometimes. Like with some of the brand collaborations I've done, they haven't asked for reels, but I'll make one just to like, hey, here's something else because I want to create that goodwill to work with them again.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. It's like kind of going above and beyond. Like, don't be taken advantage of, but do like that little bit extra to let them know that you want to do this and that's important.
Right.
And it doesn't just feel like, oh, here's a video.
Yeah, people can really feel the effort.
Yeah. And it's hard to find that middle ground where it's like, okay, I don't want to say yes to everything.
For sure.
Because I've made that mistake where I just say yes to everything and it puts you in situations you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
Then you're obligated, and it's like, it totally shows in this video that I made that I didn't want to do it.
Right.
And I don't want to do that.
For sure.
Those are like
I
some
always
of the early
err on
mistakes.
the side. Yeah, I always err on the side of not ever doing it.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I mean, like, at least now you know, and then it was like, okay, learn from that, and then can move forward on it.
I agree. It kind of changed how I look at a couple things with TikTok, because in the beginning when I started getting like collaborations, I was saying yes to everything, and I was like, I don't even like this product.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use it for this video, and I appreciated that they sent me, but there's been a couple ones where I was just like, no. And they were ones that offered money, because not all of them offer money, and that's fine. I appreciate when they offer money, because money's always nice, but having a product is also cool. Like, one of the brands sent me, Huckberry, like, working with them, like, they were so nice about the type of content I wanted to make, what I wanted. They were very receptive, like, hey, like, can I have more time on this? And that was important. But there were a couple brand deals where they offered money, but I just like said no because it wouldn't have been genuine.
Well, also too, I feel like something that people kind of sleep on a little bit is the longer you could go with saying no, then like the bigger the ask can be, like on the back end, like a year from now or something, if you guys are still going strong with them. It's like now it's like, oh yeah, if it was like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, now you could probably ask for like triple that, or, you know, whatever, more than that, because the ROI on it is so good.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you don't feel bad about, it's like, okay, I actually felt like I have a foundation here. Like I've given way more than I've taken. And then it like really makes sense.
I agree. Yeah. And the way TikTok is changing, it gives me ideas to make better content. They're coming out with this, like, I forget what it's called, but it's another creator platform. Not a platform. There's the Creator Fund, and then there's another one coming out where it's like that times 2. And the only way you're going to be making money, from what I understand, is if it's longer than 60 seconds, which is kind of huge. So more people are going to want to make longer, more engaging content, and that's harder.
Right.
So I want to do that because that's going to challenge me to make longer, better content to keep people engaged for over a minute.
Right.
I can make 3-minute videos. I just haven't, because that's hard. I don't know how to do that right now, but I know that I want to get there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, all the tools that TikTok gives you, you don't have to use like editing platforms. You can just jump in, and it's all built in.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. That's where I think Reels kind of falters, because their platform sucks.
Yeah, I really dislike Reels.
Like the music on there is great. Seeing people make really aesthetically pleasing videos on Reels is really cool. But It's hard as like a social media strategist seeing videos that they're like 3 seconds long. You're not getting anything from it, and it's got like 100,000 likes. You
Right.
know, and it's weird because it'll be like 0.2 second clips of somebody like going out, and it's like this was 3 seconds long.
Right.
This got so many views, and I worked 2 hours on this video that's 30 seconds, and it got two. Like,
Right.
sometimes that's
Yeah,
a little disheartening.
For sure. It's funny too. I also want to like take it one step more. It's like you see a lot of these people that were doing like myself on YouTube, long form content, like 8 minutes of content. And then it's like, then it was super disheartening when TikTok came because like, oh, damn. It's like
Yeah.
I spent like 20 hours and now you guys have like 2-3 hours worth of work. And then it's like, same thing.
And now they're jumping to longer form content now.
Yeah,
So it's like a
yeah.
back and forth, and I think that's interesting. I was actually talking to my coworker Dan about your videos the other day, and I showed him a
Interesting.
couple of your videos
Interesting.
because we were
They're
talking
so
about,
bad on there. I was like so bad for years. I didn't get good till recently.
No, I admire your creativity on these videos. I've always looked up to you in that way because I know you're creative, and it's really cool to like talk to you about these things. But we were
Appreciate
editing
that.
this video, and he was teaching me how to edit in like Premiere and stuff because that's a new thing that I'm learning because I haven't had the opportunity
nice.
before. And I'm super appreciative that I have that opportunity now. But I was showing him, I was like, this is the type of stuff that I would like to edit, like these transitions, these like cool little like movements. I was like, this is the stuff that I want to learn. So I wanted to let you know that. So
Oh,
I still
dude,
like,
heck yeah.
I'll go back and like look some of your videos because I want to take like inspiration from it for stuff that
Yeah.
I'm doing now. And yeah, I appreciate it.
Heck yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I love doing that stuff. It's just that the editing time always gets dramatically more. Like my most heavy edited videos are around like 50 to 70 hours.
That's
So it's like,
crazy, man.
and that, yeah, so it's like, that's not one, it's not feasible. And it's like, you can't scale that. So it's like, okay, the first week I did this podcast, like it was like time spent on it was over 24 hours, is around 24 hours. Like that was like recording, setting up, editing, going through it, sifting through it, finding clips, exporting those
Yeah.
out, uploading. And then now I'm at about like 12 out. Like ideally, I think I have one with Soph that's coming out this Thursday, my friend Sophia, and that took about like 12 hours.
Mhm.
And really, I want to get it down to like 8, but I think like I'm not mad at 12.
Because you're still doing that on top of your creative department work.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
So-
this is a part of creative department. I'm more so
Yeah.
mean like the client.
No, it's
work.
fair though. Yeah, because it's like this doesn't generate any money. I'm putting it out there, but I want to get like a matcha sponsorship.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, dude, I
Which
love
brand?
matcha. I don't want to like throw them out there yet because I want to like I can't say it yet, but
I will say Chamberlain Coffee has like really good matcha.
oh
I
really?
don't know.
never
If-
tried it.
Do you
I
know
never
like
tried
Emma
hers.
Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Okay, her branding. I don't know if you've seen them, but the
I have.
branding on her coffee stuff is incredible.
Yeah.
And they have really good matcha. So could be
Okay, I'll
something
check it
for
out.
there.
Yeah. I've checked out a few. I do I really like just like Trader Joe's matcha right now. Do you guys have a Trader
Dude,
Joe's
I
out there?
love Trader Joe's.
Okay. I was just okay.
I go there twice a week, dude. Their orange chicken slaps.
I'll have to get that. Maybe I've
It's-
tried it once, but
It's so good. It's so
I'm
easy
just
to
like
make.
I just do like the fried rice with like chicken.
Dude, you gotta get the fried rice and the orange chicken, or the teriyaki chicken is good too, dude.
I'll do the
They ha-
orange.
Yeah, I get so much from there. I'm like on that side of TikTok where it's just people going to Trader Joe's, like Trader Joe's hauls, and I'm like, fuck, now I have to go back to Trader Joe's to get this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan of like. Do you drink the 7 Greens?
I have before. I don't have them right now, but I've definitely had them.
Yeah, I'm like. I feel like I'm doing something good for my body if I'm like drinking that. I don't know. It just feels like I'm getting.
No, dude.
fucking
as long as it,
mineral or
like-
vitamin.
I'm sure there's a lot of like benefits to those because that's what I mean. They're popular for a reason.
Right.
That and what's the other brand? Bloom
Not
Green
too
or something
sure.
like that. There's so many, but yeah, it makes you feel good.
All right, bringing it back to content one last time. I wanted to ask you, do you have plans like what are do you think about this of like a year down the line, of 2 years down the line, of what you want to be
I
doing?
I want to get to a point where like at least like twice. Well, like honestly, like I can put out like a brand video like once every other week, like
Hmm.
creating those relationships. I want to really collaborate with other creators in my free time once I'm not working every single day. Like I want to spend time like talking to other creators, learning about their content, learning about why they want to make content, and make like really short form content out of that. And I think that's cool. Or getting back into streaming and like playing with people that I've met
Nice.
way down the line when I have time.
Yeah,
But also, I just want to like up my creative game because it can get stagnant sometimes.
for sure.
Like the type of content you make over and over again, it can get stagnant. And I want to learn how to like edit better. I want to learn
For
how to edit
sure.
in Premiere and make that content where I'm not just only using CapCut or free platforms. I'm like, okay, I will pay for this. I want to learn how to
Right.
use these plugins. I want to do these sick transitions. And
Yeah.
that's where I kind of want to go over the next year.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. This is like a super side note too. It's like, dude, yeah, like a lot of the people on TikTok, their editing skills with the transitions are getting like super expert crazy level. And I'm like, dude, this is hard to compete with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of like value to that as well. It's like when you're putting things out, things do get a little bit stagnant, and then it's like, yeah, you do have to grow because it's like that's like your audience wants to see you grow actually.
Mhm.
And it's like, yes, you need to invest. Like it's just like a business, reinvesting back into the business to scale back up. It's the same thing with content. Like it's a parallel thing. And I think that's what like people don't, that's how people kind of lose their audiences when they don't evolve or don't and reinvest back into it.
Yeah. Because if you're just doing the same stuff over and over again, people are going to get
Yeah,
bored.
for sure.
And,
Yeah.
You know, I want to make content where it seems like I'm actually putting a lot of time into it and that I'm like caring and thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, mental health stuff can be tricky talking about it. So I try to like diverse the content from that.
For
Sometimes
sure.
I still want to keep that as like a main pillar and it's super important to me. But
Yeah.
it's tricky because of guidelines. And it's like, you know, I've talked about a couple things where they think I'm glorifying it when all I was doing was saying, hey, if you have this, it's okay. It's okay to have this. You're not
Right.
alone. Like you can talk to people about it. I got taken down for glorifying it. And it's stuff like that where it's very tricky. But then you see
Interesting.
these massive creators make content glorifying it because they make money for TikTok,
Right.
it's fine.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that can be frustrating sometimes.
Yeah, it's
So,
a double-edged sword for sure.
yeah. But I think editing and getting better at editing is going to make the quality of my videos so much better.
Nice. I like that. So you want to keep doing TikTok in a year, 2 years? You still want to keep doing the same thing?
Yeah. Because I feel like it's going to evolve a lot. Like the type
think
of
so too.
content that gets popped into the algorithm is going to change a lot. Even the next couple of months, I think. I see a lot more tools becoming available for people who didn't have it in the past.
You have obviously this is an obvious answer. You have a really good grasp on what's going on that platform. Like extremely good. That's how I feel about YouTube. And I spend a lot of time on TikTok, but like it's just not for me probably. I think it's not that it's not for me all the way completely, but I feel 100% on YouTube, and I probably only feel like maybe somewhere between 60 to 80, maybe 60 to 70 on TikTok.
Yeah, that's fair. I think TikTok is really, really good when you can make that content that fits that 3 seconds where they're like, you have to
Right.
hook that person in like 2 to 3 seconds. And I think the people who do it really well are really fun to watch. And I want to
Right.
get to that point where it's like people are saying the same thing about me,
Yeah.
you know? And like, I want to get to that 100K. That'd be sick. I'm like
Yeah.
11,000 away. And, you know, that's really exciting to think about because it's really not that far away.
It's not at all.
And that's something like I want to do this year because that's like a huge milestone for me to do
Yeah.
something like that. So I think that'll be really cool too.
Nice. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I think like congratulations, man. Seriously, I think you're gonna hit 100K in literally just a couple months later. It's gonna be this year. I think it's super dope what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I see it constantly, and I admire it from up close, afar. I think we've chatted about it every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, keep f***ing crushing it. I think
Thank you, man.
Seriously.
You too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I get excited to see what you're putting out, like who you're working with, and it's really interesting. Like even
Thank you.
On like your background stuff for social videos, like I look at that and I'm like, okay, this is the type of stuff that I kind of want to like build on for like Small Hands when I'm doing their socials. Like with Small Hands Creative, it's like, oh, we're on this really sick shoot. Why am I not making these like background videos? I'll take BTS, but like taking time to do that type of stuff is what I'm interested in too, because I want to build out that, and that's, you know, one of the reasons they hired me.
For sure. Yeah, it's difficult. Like when you're the one doing it, and it's like then you got to capture behind the scenes. It's crazy because it's like I think of I did like producing too, right, for shows, and it's like as a videographer, I see myself like as a producer. It's like you're really just making sure the environment's really, really comfortable for the client.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you're making sure your camera settings are dialed in, and then you're making sure their audio, like their mic is working, and it's like you're making sure all these things while like maintaining the conversation with them and talking to them about like XYZ and their ideas. You're scripting out like it's like just so many factors.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
It's like endless.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's why
I agree.
I think that's why you're good at it, and then just as myself as well. You have a knack for it.
Thank you, man. You too.
Nice. Well, Mason, thank you. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.